In this video, I want to walk you through how you can get 10 to 20 high ticket leads using email and some really simple reply-based emails. This is actually from one of my clients where we've got about 64 replies. It's a really simple email, and in this video, I want to walk you through 3 critical steps you need first before you can write this email and then see some pretty cool results. You're going to need a highly responsive list. And what comes first before you have a high responsive list? You need a list. You need people on an email list. So the way people would normally do this is that to build a list, you either have organic or you have paid. And I want to walk you through the pros and cons of both, because there's definitely no right way to build a list. So organic. This is usually from content. This is how you would build your list. So from YouTube, from blogs, from social media. The really cool thing is that they're high quality leads. There's a lot of intent. They've put their hand up to learn more from you. They've seen your stories. There's a lot of know, like, and trust factor. And the problem with this though is that it's highly unpredictable, right? You don't know when the people leads are going to come in next, and it makes scaling very difficult. So you might have all these warm leads coming in, but you might have a really bumper month, 1 month, low the next, high the next, low the next. And those are the cons basically. What else have I written here? It's slow, it's time consuming, it punishes inconsistency, exactly, especially if you have shiny object syndrome. Man, that's not good. So these are also my other cons. Right, easy to assign your self-worth to a subscriber account and demotivate you from continuing on the hard days. Absolutely. And then this is where people drink the crack, basically, of paid ads. And I want to share some horror stories of growing your list with paid ads. Okay, so here are the pros of growing your list with paid ads. So this is where you have a Facebook ad, a YouTube ad, a TikTok, you've got a lead magnet, and you're trying to get people onto your list. The great thing about this is that you have a lot of volume, it's easy to scale, you can put money on it, you can test your messaging really quickly, which is arguably the most important thing. Let's just say you go to a networking event, right? And for 5 months you say, I'm a life coach and I help people transform their binge eating habits, and like that's your pitch for the next 5 months. What happens if it's really shit, but people just are too polite to tell you that? That's the cool thing about ads, right? You're paying money to be brutally honest, or the market's being brutally honest with you, that your message sucks. And that's why it might be a good idea if you've got extra cash to be like, I just want to test if my messaging actually lands. I can actually get some leads. And you're cutting the guesswork out of what works, what doesn't. A lot of people are really afraid of this. Okay, so here are the cons, right? Because the cons are super important, and I know there's a lot on the page right now, but I want to tell you a few stories here. So the massive con with ads to grow your list is that there's no like or trust factor. Okay, so what often happens is that, and I've seen this again and again, is that clients will get very hung up on the metrics, the numbers. So for instance, let's just say it costs you $100 per lead and you close about 1 in 5. So that's costs about $500 in your cost per acquisition. And if you have an offer for $10,000, you are raking it in. You're making so much money, and it makes sense to scale, right? If you close in 1 in 5, that's pretty good. That's about standard, and it makes sense. You just put more money in, and it's great. Here's the thing with paid ads though, right? You're gonna have a lot of really skeptical people. You're gonna have people just bull crap on the form saying that they've got the money. What else is there? Because they don't know, like, and trust you as well. And this is the thing as well. This is so massive. Because they don't know, like, and trust you, and they've come onto this call, they're going to be undermining you. They're going to be charging, the credit cards will be charging back. They'll be ghosting you. Maybe I'll have this on the screen. I had a client who I asked what was his refund rates. And he showed me this screenshot. Or he showed me his email from Stripe. And it was just like, chargeback, declined, chargeback, declined. It was just bang, 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 bang. And this does not happen with organic, right? If you're trying to grow your list for organic, they they respect you. But with cold, there's not that same know, like, and trust factor, and people are much more likely to undermine what you have to teach, and you're basically having to win over their trust. Even though on paper, it's $500 to acquire a customer and you've got a $10,000 offer, that's $9,500 in profit, so to speak, depending if you close it or not. But that's the massive overlooked part, right? I've got it here. They aren't indoctrinating into your thinking, and you got to spend time teaching them how to think the way you think. Because let's just say like giving up, or let's just say that shiny object syndrome, or let's just say that your particular method is the way to go, and they can't be looking around. Like, that's hard to knock out of people if they haven't come through your content. All right, so we've gone over the first part of how you actually build your list, a responsive list, and the best way to do it is to use paid and organic. But what's the next thing, right? So you got people onto your list, maybe they closed, maybe they didn't, they read a lead magnet, whatever. Now you got to build a relationship with that list, and this is the part where people stuff up because they confuse a relationship with let me give you a blog post, let me give you a video, let me give you a tip, right? But it's kind of different. The way I do it with clients is that you kind of want to build a relationship, especially if it's a one-person business or it's a personality-based business where you're coaching, you're the face of it. You got to let them into your world a little bit, okay? So let me give you an analogy like dating. So the first phase of dating is that you want to get to know them and you want to get a glimpse of their exciting life. Like, that's what you would do to attract someone. You don't want to show you've got a boring or dull life. You want to show like you're high value, you've got stuff going on. So you might want to share some common interest. You might want to think about, do you actually like them? Are you actually attracted to this person? And that's why we give this a bit of a glimpse in terms of the relationship building phase. Second phase is that we want to see if you're compatible long term. So you might go on longer dates, some road trips, might talk about values. And the third phase of dating, for instance, is that you'll introduce them to your friends and family, and you want to see if they mesh well with your circle. What do your friends and family see that you don't? Right? That's dating. So how do you actually cross over with a friendship? And a friendship, so we're kind of doing a bit of a both. It's a bit of the dating game. Like we're going to eventually marry them. They're going to become a customer, but we're not actually going to do that. So we actually got to be kind of friends with the person as well. So what do you do to build friendship? You got to do things without expecting anything in return. You got to be vulnerable with them. You want to seem like you do fun things with them. Okay, and the way we do this with emails is that this could be in the form of stories or podcasts or YouTube episodes you like with a bit of context. Ask them with a reply about, like, for instance, this one email I wrote for a client, it was all about the new Mavericks movie with Tom Cruise, Top Gun 2. And we're just talking about how the comparison between Mavericks is like his high-end client, and at the very end it was like, hit reply with your favorite movie. Nothing salesy, a bit of an insight into, he went to Gold Class, which is in Australia, it's like, the super special movies where you have recliner chair and chocolate and wine, and just letting them into the personal one a little bit, and just being friendly here. So these are some examples of building a relationship. So being vulnerable with them, sharing with them stories about your family in the past, hopefully. What else? Hobbies, interests, what you do on the weekend, what you're reading right now. It doesn't have to be a tip all the time, right? The currency of value isn't in just information. A lot of it's got to do with just like bonding, right? Who you are as a person, and the person wants to get to know you further. That's how you build a relationship with email. Now we can get to the third and final part, right? We've got people onto the list, and now we've built a relationship with them, some different examples. Now we can use a sexy bait so that we can get people to reply and we can follow up with them. Okay, so when starting out, the point isn't to suck out lots of leads. The point is to test what they want. So we don't actually know, most people don't actually know what people want. So don't expect this first email to work, okay? Let's look at 3 different tests right here. And see what happened. Let me zoom in. This was an audio recording of how one client went from $3,000 to $21,000 projects, and the story was real, authentic, and it was on a voice note, easy to consume while on the road. So when you hit reply, I'll send you a voice note and I'll send it over. Hit reply with Aaron, my team will send it over. Pretty simple. We got 64 replies. So not every email that you send a reply-based email is going to work. This only had 34 people reply. So in this circumstance, I thought maybe let's test out let's add some urgency to it, 48 hours, if this is going to get more people to act. I just don't think the sexy bait was that good. It was a bit of a slice from a workshop. Like we chopped a bit of a paid workshop and we said, do you want a taste test of it? Here's something, and here's the results here. The next one here, we've sent 2 emails, 36 and 17. So this one here was the same thing. So here's the thing with lead magnets, right? Just because you offered it once doesn't mean that the lead magnet's crap. It just means that the way you presented it wasn't that good, right? So with this email here, hopefully you can see it. Let's completely break this down. So what we try to do with this email is I still wanted to see if the paid workshop, like a slice of the paid workshop, was a good bait, but instead I wanted to present the hook slightly differently, the reason why they should get it. So for here, let's look at this email. After going to BNI breakfast, getting on podcasts, cold email prospects, it dawned on me that every kind of lead gen activity I was doing was all long-term stuff. They work, they get results, but I had to come to terms that the fact that many lead gen strategies out there take time before you can harvest the fruits of your labor. So what can we do instead? Well, that's when I made a commitment to learn Facebook ads. And I know a lot of agency owners shy away from them because they can feel overwhelmed. Understandable. Nailing your message isn't easy. How do we stand out from sea competitors? Well, I'll show you what I'm doing with our ad strategy and messaging. It's also what we went into great detail inside our ad writing workshop a couple of weeks back. It's called your big domino statement and might clarify your message. So here's mine, and then talk about this. The statement isn't something I openly share in my content. Picture it as your internal barometer for your marketing. All your content and messaging should come back to your big domino statement. Okay, that's great, Troy, but how do I actually generate leads from this exercise? Great question. I've asked my team to splice up some of the highlights from this workshop. It shows you how to take this big domino statement and apply it to writing killer lead gen ads with Facebook. It's normally something reserved for our paid clients. However, I thought you might be interested to have a sample without fully committing. I'm feeling generous, except I want to reward the action takers, so I'll make this recording available for 48 hours. Interested, hit reply with workshop, and my team will send it across. So we are selling the sizzle and not the steak. I'm not talking about the nuts and bolts of the how-to of the workshop. All we're talking about is I've sold the sizzle of, great, this is all long-term stuff. We know what we need to do. How do you get leads quickly? Well, this is what we talked about on the workshop. You go through this statement here, and this is how you do it. Do you want it? And this is how you essentially run simple reply-based emails. So the whole point is that you want to first build a responsive list. You then want to build a relationship with that list, so then you can actually get a response. And then the third thing is you want to use a sexy bait, so you can actually get people to reply and you follow up with them. So that's it for today's video. Hope you got some value. If you did get some value, give this video the thumbs up, hit subscribe, ask me any question down below when it comes to reply-based emails, and I'm sure to get back to you. My name is Jules Ian.